Howdy, my name is Tyler Freitas, and for my Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion project, I will be discussing a psychological phenomenon known as the self-serving bias. For my research, I researched an article titled Success and Failure Bias and Attributions Across Involvement Categories in Sport. This article was written by J. Robert Grove, Stephanie J. Hanrahan, and Adrian McInman. And like I said, it researched the self-serving bias. A little bit of introduction on the article. The main idea of the article suggests that individuals make attributive bias often. So this article goes into a deep study about this phenomenon in terms of sport and competition. It talks about how there is more internal than external biases, and people generally tend to um, internally blame rather than externally blame. The research is consistent within sport and competition. So the main focus of this study, the parameters, study athletes in sports and that sort of thing. The introduction also suggests that biases are more likely to be attributed to external factors in close competition versus less ambiguous outcomes. The methods that were used in this study, it was a survey, a participation survey, and it asked participants ranging from coaches, players, and spectators with a total of 110 participants to answer 9 survey questions. The survey was used to determine perception of internality / externality based on a 1 to 9 scale in each question, where surveyors would pick somewhere in between the scale. And the questionnaires were taken directly after the game and were noted whether it resulted in a win or a loss to categorize the two. The results of the findings found that winners' causes were significantly more predictable and controllable than losers. It occurred in individual performance as well as team performance, and it was found that a norm of encouraging acceptance of personal responsibility and discouraging externalization of failure exists in sport. In conclusion, the results of the study found proof that backs the success-failure bias theory, and winners rated their causes much more controllable than losers. So in conclusion, individuals do in fact attribute success to themselves and tend to connect their failure with outside factors that were not up to them. And then for my meme / example, I chose this meme, which shows a student coming into the professor's office claiming that I only failed the exam because you didn't cover the material while I was paying attention. And this is an example of this self-serving bias because individuals tend to attribute success to themselves and then generally blame them outside factors that they weren't able to control, like in this case, to other things that they couldn't control. In this case, her teacher, she's blaming that he didn't cover the material when in fact he wasn't paying attention. Thank you for listening to my project. Hope you have a great one.